On the Big Springs Ranch, we have about 20 horses among the other animals we have here. And it's a very good therapeutic tool for the children.
What Michael does is to teach the kids that getting the horse to trust you is an important step in being around a horse. They learn about somebody else that's afraid, the horse. They learn that their treatment of the horse will build a relationship that will allow them to ride that horse, to groom that horse, to be friends with that horse.
We have therapists that will come down and just work with the children around the horses. Sometimes it will open the children up to be able to talk a little bit more if they're around the animals. I would put it up 1.
Okay.
Just 1. Will it go 1?
It's alright, yeah.
There's a lot of life lessons in a horse. A horse will tell you exactly the way you're treating them. If you treat a horse well, a horse will treat you well. They're looking for that. They don't have the ulterior motives that people do. They're not thinking about how to manipulate somebody or get something out of somebody. They're just looking for, are you here to hurt me or not? And if you're not, I'm here to help you. And so I think if a person works with a horse long enough, they learn that about themselves and what they can do with other people. So I try to relate that to what a child can do. Like, they've had a lot of struggles in their life, but if they can work with a 1,200-pound animal, then maybe some of these other problems in their life are not so big. They can tell a horse anything, and they're not going to tell anybody else. And there's so many little lessons in there.
So make a loop, cross the first one and back to your loop. So I've created a little knot right there that I can push to. So now I have a knot, but I have a bunch of extra rope. So I just braid it. Loop through a loop, loop through a loop, loop through a loop. Just to get it out of the way, right? You got it? Okay, let me see. Let me see you do it. You want to try it? No, at least try it. It's okay.
The exciting thing about horses is they don't judge you. There's this relationship that you can have with a horse where you're building on that love and compassion for an animal. And one of the great connections that I've seen with working with the kids, we bring them out and they start to learn to trust. They start to learn what it is to love on an animal, and to have something that loves you back unconditionally is such an awesome experience. And I'm very adamant about them learning the structure and taking care of the horses themselves. If you want to ride, you have to be responsible for your horse. So that means catching it, brushing it, tacking it up, and then learning how to ride. So there's a lot of other things that they learn from being down at the barn, which is their responsibility, you know, working hard and working towards goals.
Okay, just as long as it's not on the ground, that's the main thing. Okay, come with me, we'll get a couple brushes. I want you to stand right in front of the shoulder, but not too close to her.
If you just get a person around the horse, the horse will do the rest sometimes. You just tell them make sure they're safe, and they come back 10 years later and they say, wow, I can't believe I got to do that, and I learned a lot from being around the horses.
The horse's story is their story because they have been mistreated. They have been prey. And so Michael uses it to help build a new awareness of overcoming fear and building trust.
One girl that had major trust issues. She had come from an abusive background, and I basically told her about this horse that we had, that, you know, he had the same issues. He was abused, he didn't like to be touched, he could be a little bit mean, and I explained that to her, and she was able to have that light bulb moment of being like, that's like me, I'm just like that horse. And I told her how we slowly worked with him and developed that trust and that relationship with the horse and that bond, and he began to start, you know, changing. He started where we were able to touch him more, be able to groom him, be able to ride him once he trusted us more, and that he saw that we were consistently treating him well. And she said that's the same thing that's happening to her at the youth ranch. So it was pretty neat. I love that story. It gives me goosebumps.
I know some of these children we work with have never had a chance to be around animals, so the life lessons in working with animals and everything that entails, I think will really help them in their relationships with people and life's issues that come at them. So we try to do anything we can to bring horses and people together.